Allegro Dance Project is bringing an encore presentation to their performance of So Now What? Well, it explores topics like grief and uniqueness and relationships and more through contemporary dance and in a family-friendly event.
And here to talk about the show are Jeana Klevine and Tess Fowler. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
So I'm always worried when I say the show name, So Now What? It sounds like I'm being too like New York ref. So now what? it's more of a so now what?
Well, I mean, you can say so now what? It's okay.
So now what?
Okay.
That's how how it came about.
All right. So now what?
Yeah.
Yes. All right,
I mean, we'd
good.
been through an awful lot, and we were trying to come up with a theme, and we're
Yeah.
like, so now what? And it just really stuck. Everyone's like, oh, that's actually a really interesting theme.
Okay, I'm going to stick with my original because
Yeah.
I felt like a shout to the heavens.
That's exactly how it came about.
Oh, well, good. That's a good thing.
I'm
then.
on it then.
So tell us about the show. What can folks expect?
Yeah, well, it's all about what comes next. So
Okay.
all of the themes that you mentioned, it's not just a look at those themes, it's what happens after that.
Yeah.
So it's all contemporary dance, live and original music, and a mix of aerial arts. Plus it gives our inclusive dance outreach and adaptive dance students a chance to get on stage with us.
I like that. I like that. So
Yeah.
I was curious too, what about this particular show, why did Allegro decide, okay, we need to do this again. We need an encore presentation of this.
It was very well received, especially a particular piece called Grief. I think it's a lot of topics in the show are things that are not typically explored through the arts, and the audience reacted very well, and we had a chance to really connect with a lot of people in our community and realize that these are important messages to talk about again and also to bring to students. So in addition to the public shows, we're also doing sensory-friendly school shows where kids get to take a free field trip and come to the show and do a little movement break. And it's just, yeah, not only was it important for the adults, but we felt like it was important subject matter to provide for local Kentucky students.
Well, that's a win because that's art at its best, right? When you're asking questions and wanting to dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So tell us about your outreach program too with all of this.
Yeah, well, that's really the heart of our organization. It's dance and live music, and we visit students preschool through high school, typically in an MSD or special education classroom, and it provides them a chance to learn about dance and learn about different music instruments, and even get a chance to jam on the musicians.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
So Tess, I recall that in addition to being a performer, a dancer, you're also doing the choreography for this. So let's talk a little bit about how does something like that come together? Because I mean, these are big topics.
The choreography for my piece isn't as heavy a subject as grief or some of the other topics.
Okay.
But it's good to like work with the other artists in the company and have the choreography come together and have discussions about what the choreography is about and dive deeper into the meaning of it.
Does it start with just a personal feeling of, okay, this is the topic and this is how I feel, I need to express it through movement?
Yes.
Okay, gosh, I'm not being in this world at all.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how this all comes together.
Yeah.
It sounds fascinating, and it sounds like it struck a chord with people.
Yes, exactly. And you know, speaking of striking a chord, the sensory for children and adults that have sensory issues, why did you feel it was so important to reach out to that group? Our oldest son has autism, and so we understand full well what sensory issues means to a lot of people.
Sure.
And we love the fact that you're adapting to that group as well.
Well, our whole organization's mission is to provide inclusive and accessible arts opportunities. So not only for students to participate in dance classes or performances, but even attending shows sometimes isn't as accessible as one may think. So with us having live music and the dance and the aerial, it can be a little stimulating, but we found ways to kind of knock down those sensory issues and welcome everyone that maybe otherwise wouldn't feel comfortable or confident attending a show, that this show is just for them. So they don't have to worry if they need to take a break. New Vista is partnering with us to have a little sensory station in the lobby in case a kid needs to step out and take a little break. And the music will be a little lower. There will be no crazy lighting changes. It's just a welcoming way for someone that maybe, like I said, has never felt like they could experience or attend a show.
That's incredible. Love it.
Tessa, I'm wondering too, is this an organic process? Are we going to see different things from what we saw from the first standing of this production?
Most things will be the same from the summer show. We've made some adaptations with different company members and like different spacings and circumstances, but
Okay.
for the most part, it's the same show.
Wonderful.
Very good. Well, it worked the first time around. Let's bring it back and
Yeah.
expose more
Yeah.
people to the great artistry that Allegro is putting out there. Thank you both for what you're doing.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
Back with more after this. Stick around.